What kind of soup are we making today? I don't actually know. We're gonna make it up as we go. Actually, that's not true. Today I was craving a soup that wasn't super heavy, wasn't creamy, wasn't anything like that. And I've had a few people ask me, do you have a good recipe for a vegetable soup or like a hamburger vegetable soup? And that's kind of what I'm craving today. And so we're gonna try and make a hamburger vegetable soup just with our head. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because here's the thing about soup. Once you learn how to like put stuff together, it's just about like putting stuff in a pot and making it work. People didn't used to have recipes to make soup. It was just like, what do you have and what do you want? And then we'll make it. So that's what we're gonna try and do today. And hopefully it turns out, otherwise this will be a really embarrassing video. So I suppose we're going to need some hamburger and some vegetables. So we'll see what I have. We're gonna start the soup like I start every soup, with some meat and some onions. Here we go. Finding cool stuff to put in my soup. By the way, coolest tool ever, if you have cloves of garlic and you don't want to sit here and peel everything off, you stick it in this little tube, you crunch it around like that, and it helps loosen the peel. So, super cool. Get yourself one of these. I got it for Christmas one year from someone. It was in my stocking. We're gonna add some celery. And odd fact about Amy, every time I cut celery, it makes me think of Christmas, and I don't know why. To me, celery smells like Christmas. I don't eat celery at Christmas. There's not like an appetizer at Christmas that there's nothing about Christmas that should remind me of celery, but that's what it does. Does anybody else out there think of Christmas when you cut celery? It's just a random fact about me that you did not need to know. This is looking delightful, and I'm not even gonna drain it because there's not a lot of like grease coming off of it. This was pretty lean burger, so we're just gonna start adding some more stuff. So, lots of garlic, lots of celery. Gonna add about 3 carrots. No particular reason for 3 carrots, just that's what I happen to cut up. This is about where I need to make a decision about whether I'm going to use potatoes or rice or noodles in this soup, because obviously all of those would have to be added at different times. I think I'm craving noodles, and so we're going to add those at the very, very end, so we don't need to cut up any potatoes. Yay! I'm going to add some salt, a bunch of pepper. I have not committed to any other spices yet, so I'm not gonna add them. I need to think about it a little longer. Gonna add some beef broth. This is a behind the scenes shot. Look at all that broth that I spilled. Y'all know I just try to keep it really real with you. I owe you that much. I feel like this also is gonna need maybe some diced tomatoes. Should I add them now? I don't know. Should I add them now or should I add them later? Because this is just going to sit and simmer for a long time, because we don't have to eat for probably 4 hours. But I wanted to make this now, and I do what I want. So this is just going to sit on the stove. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. And it's just going to simmer on the stove like it would in the old days. It's just going to be on the stove, doing its thing, working its magic until I decide to put something else in it or eat it. Do I add the tomatoes? I think I'm gonna wait. Maybe this is why people use recipes, because then they don't have to think about it. They follow the recipe because somebody else has already figured it out for them, and they don't have to make all these decisions. Just kidding. I decided to add the tomatoes now. Because here's the thing about soup. I mean, really, you can't screw it up. And I know y'all out there are like, oh, I've made a soup and it's been gross before, but y'all, experiment. That's how we come up with really awesome things, is just by putting some stuff in the pot and seeing what it tastes like. And the more you experiment, the more you figure out what goes together and what doesn't. Be brave in your kitchen and do awesome things. Ooh, she's boiling. Ooh, smoky. Oh my word, y'all. That smells really, really good. And I'm not just saying that because I don't want to fail. Oh, that smells really good. Winning. Turn it down so it can simmer and just let her go. That is looking and smelling awesome. We're gonna do a little taste test and see where we're gonna go from here. All right, got this. This is doing good. So now you have to decide where you want to go from here. I know I want to add noodles, so I'm gonna have to bring this up. This is barely simmering now, so I need to bring it up a little higher. And we're gonna add some noodles, and I might add some peas, maybe some corn. I'm not sure. We're gonna add the noodles and see what it does. We might also have to add just a little bit of sugar, because sometimes with the acidity of the tomatoes, you need to get rid of that a little bit. So a little bit of sugar will do that. Yeah, let's add some noodles and see what happens. Turn it up a little bit more. So I've got a pound of noodles here. I don't think we're going to need a whole pound of noodles, because I think if we add a whole pound to this, I think it's gonna turn into a hot dish instead of a soup. And so we'll just, this is where the experimenting comes. You just add it till it looks good. Just follow your heart, listen to your ancestors. They're in there. Listen to what they have to say about this soup you're trying to make. A little bubbly. He's getting there. He's getting there. Got some green peas too. This, y'all, is also why it's really important to be a household of ingredients. So you have stuff to work with, okay? Get some food in your house so you can work with items when you have a craving and want to throw stuff together. All right, she's starting to boil again, so we're gonna add about half of this box. Whoa. Actually, that's maybe like a third of the box. Hello, here's my face. It's actually like a third of the box. It's, I don't know. All right, we'll stir those in. Okay, we'll add a little more. Because the thing is, we don't want to add too many noodles, because it's obviously going to soak up all that broth. So if you add too many noodles, then we're going to have to do that game of adding more broth and evening it out, which you can do. It's all fixable. And there's some peas in there too. There we go. Woo, woo, woo. All right, so we're going to bring this to a boil again so we can cook up the noodles, and then we'll see how much broth is left in there. We'll see how sweet everything tastes after that. We might not need to add any sugar. We'll see. And we'll also see if there's any other spices we need to add, but this is actually tasting really quite wonderful. So, awesome. There's not a lot of broth left in there. Oh man. But it's okay, because I can either add a little bit more beef broth and make it a little soupier, or I just asked my husband and I told him it was really, really thick, and he said, that's okay. It looks delicious. So we're gonna go with it. I'm okay. I actually like my soup kind of thick. So we're gonna go with this. Cause it's all about what you like, right? I am going to add a little bit of corn and maybe a little bit of sugar, maybe just a titch. Is that a technical measurement? It should be. My nice thick soup. We're gonna pour in some corn. Look at how delightfully colorful that is. Oh my gosh, you guys. And then I'm gonna do just like a half a tablespoon of sugar. just to cut a little bit of that acidity from the tomatoes, because some people don't like that. There we go. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Let's taste test one more time. Ah! Y'all, it is so good. So good. Look at that, y'all. Look how good that looks. Again, this is really super thick. This is almost hot dish level. But if you want to fix that, you just add more broth. Not a big deal. Add a couple more cups of broth. It'll get good and soupy again. There you are. I love this. Yum-y. Can I have a little taste? This even would be good with a little shredded cheese sprinkled over the top, maybe. Y'all, this is so good. I'm gonna end up spilling this. And there's not a lot of broth in it, so it wouldn't make that much of a mess. But there you go. Making soup with what you have. That's what we do.